What's up, guys? Emperor John Kill 3D Gaming here with another video, and I had just got back home from a little vacation that I took off for a week and got a chance to play with my cousins and some friends at their place the Marvels Avengers beta. Now, I've seen a lot of the controversy that's come out about the game, but unlike everybody else, I don't judge things just based off a couple of hours of playtime. I'll put in X amount of hours as much as possible and get the opinions of others, which I've been able to do. And I'm going to say that, yes, the game, despite what problems it will have, and the criticism I will give the game is it's thinking about the long term instead of the short term. If you think about the short term first, then worry about the long term. But it also depends how this game actually will play on people's love for superhero games. Because when you get deep down and play it, you will soon to understand that this is basically a Marvel Ultimate Alliance third-person action online MMO type game. So, with a lot of features from Destiny and all these looter aspects, we've had a lot of looter shooters, but this is supposed to be like a looter brawler. And the way it handles things and the way it plays, okay, a lot of people are judging. Let's get the graphics out of the way, even though this is just the beta. The graphics just look more like a reduced version of Marvel's Spider-Man, which Marvel's Spider-Man looked really, really good. You know, it's either that or God of War, depending on which one looks very good, because I think God of War still looks better in how it's, you know, artistic design and everything. And superhero games, I think as long as the superheroes themselves look great and look good, everything around them, okay, it could just be a fair comic book world. It doesn't have to be over the top and extreme, because remember, this is also not a singular experience. But when you do play aspects that are singular, it does feel like Ultimate Alliance, except you can't switch around different characters. You have to focus and level up one specific character. Now, there's only 4 characters available in the beta. 2 of them you get to use in the opening mission, which I wish I got to play as Thor more, because I'm going to use Thor's examples. Everybody will feel different, and everybody does feel unique in control style. Yes, the enemies feel generic, but this is a superhero game. All enemies feel generic until you get to the boss battle. A superhero game really, like, a lot of people just expect a superhero game to be top tier, over the top, and not necessarily. As long as you get to feel like the hero and do things the hero can do, that's all that should matter. The 4 characters you do get is Miss Marvel, Hulk, Iron Man, and Black Widow. An odd choice, but Miss Marvel, this incarnation of Miss Marvel, I don't hate her like some people are starting to. I really don't. She's not an agenda-pushing character either, from what I have seen. This game, the way the dialogue is set up, feels like a little bit of the MCU. It feels like a starting point to a video game Marvel universe. And is the gear worth going for when you start to progress and play the game? Now, they don't affect anything cosmetic-wise. They just it's kind of like Diablo. It's like Diablo and Destiny. More so, I'm leaning towards Diablo 3. When you pick up a gear, it will affect stats. Now, unlike Diablo, it will change the cosmetics. But the cosmetics you earn through this mini battle pass thing, the developer said that it will only be cosmetic microtransactions, but the way you can earn things, even in this beta, we earn things very quickly at the course of playing in a group for just an hour and a half to almost 2 hours. But we liked fighting this giant boss that was in it. The boss has one beta, which is like a giant Scorpion X robot, and I decided to go ahead and play it on my cousin's PC. Now, before anybody asks, I'm going to tell you what I showed his PC on Twitter, you know, just to share it that he lets me play on. He has 2 of them, but this is the one I play on, and I'm going to list off the components, and you could see how he even said that even on PC, it's very difficult to run, because on the PS Slim, we was running this the beginning Thor mission, and it ran fine. But then when we play grouped up on the PC, which he has an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 2080, 8GB GDDR6, a 16GB HyperX Fury DDR XMP at 30 megahertz up to 64 gigs. He has an 8TB in his PC with an AMD Ryzen 7 3700X That's how you say. He just wrote down basically what could help me explain what's in his PC, but that's how we were running it. Now, it's funny how the Slim didn't give us that much problems, but the Pro and the PC did. But then after, we noticed that it's the technical difficulties and glitches in the game, because at one point we were doing a level together and it ran perfectly. You know, the consoles between the two PS4s, PS4 Slims and the PS4 Pro, including his PC, he had the little indicator or a little number that popped up that would say it was running at 60 FPS, like in the top bottom left. And it's still, to him, he was like, this isn't 60, so why is it being judged? Maybe it just needs to be ironed out when it comes out. Because there's potential here. This was the opinion of a group of people who loved and grew up with these Marvel type games, especially the Ultimate Alliance games, and it gave us that vibe. Now, by yourself, it all depends if you are a loot junkie to go in and just constantly do this over and over. I don't know how many characters and missions there will be, but at least there's a narrative in the game when I give it that, and it feels like an MCU-esque narrative style when the game starts. So if you're a fan of the MCU and looking for something of the MCU, at least this is better than nothing. This is better than nothing, but it all depends how will you feel about the microtransactions, and how will you feel about the in-game progression, and how will you feel about the game at the end of the day overall playing it. Our longest session that we played, when we had the most fun, and it was just doing all these dailies, weeklies, which everything can be earned through gameplay. It's surprising, but our longest game session was 5 hours straight, and we were still having fun. Each of us master our own characters, and it all depends how you feel about the game when it comes out. That's all I gotta say. This is Emperor John Kill 3D. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll be sure to catch you all next time.